Some of the most successful people on the planet are Sigma males. Their independent thinking and against-the-herd mentality give them the ability to come up with creative solutions. Their unwillingness to give up ensures that they climb the ranks of society till the very top, and their lone wolf tendencies make them hilariously quirky and charismatic. In this video, we're going to reveal the top 8 Sigma males of 2021, and we'll explain why we chose each one. If you find this video entertaining or insightful, hit that like button, and subscribe to Viral Brain for weekly content. Number 1. Elon Musk. Elon Musk studied everything we knew about electric cars and batteries and didn't like it, so he threw it away and came up with completely new approaches to electric vehicles, founding one of the most successful companies in the century. In an interview, Elon was asked what he spends most of his time on, and he responded, "Most people think I spend a lot of time on business aspects like sales and marketing, but the truth is, 90% of my time is hardcore engineering, from designing to implementing." So if you think Elon is just a guy with the cash to afford a room full of geniuses whom he takes the credit for their work, think again. He made the world's first reusable rocket ship, the world's first mass-produced public electric car, the world's first gigafactory completely automated and run by robots. He constantly treads into new territories, achieving one thing after the other and spurting humanity onto the future. This, of course, demonstrates the independent thinking and creativity of a Sigma male. Another aspect is the fact that Elon Musk just doesn't give up. It's not like Tesla and SpaceX were an immediate success as soon as he started them. He was met with failure after failure, and both companies were on the brink of bankruptcy more than once. In fact, Elon revealed that at some point, he had put all his money into his companies, and they weren't making a single dollar in profits. So he had to borrow money to provide his family's basic needs like food and clothes. And when asked why didn't you just give up and shut down the companies, he said, "No, that's not an option. A company is like a baby. You brought it to the world, and you can't give up on it." Years later, Elon is competing for the spot of the richest man on the planet. And finally, he demonstrates extremely realistic and pragmatic views on life, and he's irritated by poor reason, both highly typical of a Sigma male. Number 2. Keanu Reeves. Most people associate Keanu Reeves with box office hits like The Devil's Advocate, John Wick, and of course, The Matrix. But they didn't know that Keanu started acting as early as 1985, pursuing secondary roles in theater plays like Romeo and Juliet and Wolf Boy. And even though he found some success early on, he experienced periods of failure for years at a time, with many movies that weren't well received neither by audience nor critics. But again, he never gave up. He kept showing up. Not to mention, Keanu's quirky personality is breathtaking. He's often seen riding the subway or standing in line to order a sandwich, and he's not known for ridiculously expensive fashion, exaggeratedly luxurious mansions, or over-the-top sports cars. He's humble, authentic, and he does his own thing in silence and away from the spotlight. All things that fit the Sigma personality archetypes. Number 3. Thanos. Didn't see that one coming, did ya? Okay, most people see Thanos as Marvel's crazy supervillain who wanted to kill half of the universe, right? But the truth is, he's a fascinating and complicated character that fits the profile of a Sigma male perfectly. 1. He had radical thoughts that drove the entire universe to consider him insane, and to try to kill him, but it never made him second-guess himself. 2. He was willing to forsake companionship and sacrifice his own daughter because it stood in the way of achieving his goals, typical of a Sigma. 3. He searched for the stones for years, wandering the universe, destroying planets, and fighting the Avengers. And he didn't give up until he found them because he is inevitable. And 4. He took it upon himself to get the work done. Fine, I'll do it myself. These are all core aspects of the Sigma male personality profile. And Thanos, insane or not, fits it perfectly. Number 4. Kanye West, the game changer. Kanye is arguably the most innovative hip-hop artist in history. He used the human voice as the ultimate instrumental, treading into an unheard-of territory called choir hip-hop. Aside from winning multiple Grammys and continuously challenging the status quo, what truly makes Kanye a Sigma is the fact that he doesn't care what people think about him. He does not make music to please the crowds, or get the most views or sell the most records. He goes to the studio and makes something that he would like to listen to himself, and that contributes to the hip-hop culture. He adds all sorts of weird samples to his beats, and spits out some ridiculous lyrics and quirky flows. Some people call it stupid, others call it genius. Either way, Kanye doesn't really care, and it shows. He's often the content of memes because of his weird reactions and peculiar behavior. Like the fact that he doesn't smile, or the time when he snatched the mic from Taylor Swift in the VMAs. This man does not give a beep. Typical of a Sigma male. Number 5. Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin stays well away from the people's pleasers, and he has an unorthodox approach to his acting roles. To prepare for the Joker, Joaquin ate only an apple a day until he lost more than half of his weight for the filming. He loves being in unconventional movies and immersing himself completely into the role. And in interviews, you can probably find over an hour worth of video on Joaquin Phoenix being completely candid and refreshingly natural in pretentious settings. He goes up to accept an award with a ponytail and an untrimmed beard and says, "Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna win this. I don't even know what this award's name is and why I won it, but thanks." Celebrities give long speeches about gender equality, climate change, or an infinite list of people to thank because that's protocol. It's tradition. But Joaquin, he doesn't care about all that. His pragmatic and humble approach is common among Sigma males. He often calls out reporters for asking meaningless questions, and he keeps his private life well away from the spotlights. Number 6. Tyler Durden from Fight Club. Sigma gone bad. So the thing about Sigma males is, they take very little input from external resources, meaning they won't do something or act in a certain way just because this is how it's done. They live by their own rules and develop a personal code for what's right and what's wrong. And if this code doesn't align with the government's code, Sigma males will break the law but won't break their code. Tyler Durden is a perfect example of this. He is a rebel. He's the exact opposite of the narrator, Edward Norton's character, which, fun fact, was never given a name throughout the whole movie. The narrator occupies a desk job 9 to 5 with a terrible boss at a company that preys people's fear of car accidents. He kept buying furniture in his apartment wanting to make it perfect, and he is a captive of every social norm there is. Tyler, he's the most chaotic character ever portrayed on television. He hates the system, breaks the rules, and converts people to his religion-like mentality of breaking the status quo and the law, staying true to a stereotypical Sigma male. Number 7. Geralt of Rivia. The Witcher is the perfect portrayal of the hooded guy sitting in the dark corner of a tavern, looking like he's not gonna make any trouble, but you definitely don't want to mess with him. Last of his species, lone wolf who sets out to make his own law? Yep, definitely a Sigma male. Geralt tried to get rid of companionship because he knew that it would slow him down. He got frustrated when people exaggerated in telling stories about him, and he was not interested in competing with anyone. He's always calm and collected even under pressure, and he acts in logic and reason rather than impulse and emotion. Not to mention the mysterious and independent vibe he gives off, and the fact that he's out of the charts cool, like all Sigma males. Number 8. Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg's reactions are so uncanny that one of the most questions asked about him on the internet is Mark Zuckerberg a robot? He's a young billionaire who wears the same gray t-shirt to almost every conference. He dropped out of college, and he's a programmer, an occupation popular among Sigma males because of its individual nature. You'll find that most college male dropouts are Sigmas because they put their own goals and happiness over everyone else, so they're not as concerned about disappointing their parents as others would be. In the early stages of Facebook, Zuckerberg took decisions against the advice of most people around him, and these decisions changed the way people use the internet around the world. Number 9. Hannibal Lecter. Dr. Lecter is famous for his uncanny appetite, but at a closer look, you will find that one of his most glaring traits is that he never involved himself in a way that makes walking away problematic. This is a highly telling Sigma characteristic, meaning Sigmas are often loved and respected by colleagues at work. They occupy a demanding position, but make no mistake, if they grow tired of it, they will leave. Hannibal Lecter doesn't let anyone come too close to him, and he manipulates society to achieve his unorthodox goals. He lives by his own rules, and obviously doesn't care one bit about the law. He resorts to reason, he's very attractive to women, and he's competent in basic life skills like cooking and cleaning, all defining of a Sigma male. And no, I'm not saying that all Sigma males are cannibalistic psychopaths. I'm just saying that this particular cannibalistic psychopath happens to be a Sigma.